All right, everyone. I think I finally figured this out. Uh, I know nobody's on here right now, so I'm pretty much just talking to myself at the moment, but hopefully this will record and save too on the YouTubes. Again, I'm always kind of showing my age a little bit. I'm still learning this technology stuff. So yeah. Um So I decided to try to test out a live stream. This is just a me working on stuff while you know, drawing. You guys can chat with me or whatever. Like I said, I know nobody's watching at the moment, but uh still just kind of trying to figure all this out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with this. Basically what I'm doing is I planned on wanting to maybe possibly do another YouTube channel that's based on like history and things like that. So yeah, me. Thank you. That's funny. Um, but yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of like be working on this um, while you're watching and tuning in and joining in. You can ask questions or whatever. It doesn't have to be about art. It can be about anything. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna take. I made a new layer and just called it color. Uh, but if I go to my lines layer, because everything's now like a solid, um, line structure, it's not cut off or nothing. I can come in here and now pick the area and get these two inside areas as well. There's a tiny bit that's not to get that as well. So if it doesn't select everything you want, you can just go to this add button. Just kind of add in what you need. And once that's picked, we can do an easier color grab. So I think that got everything. And then once that's all picked like that, I can just go to the select and go to inverse, and now everything inside of here uh, will keep the colors from going out. So now we're just going to pick kind of like a skin tone. If you usually bring it down to in between the orange and the red, you just kind of come down in here, you can kind of pick the different skin tones from there. They'll go down if you need a dark skin, light skin. You kind of just play around in there. See how it looks. That one looks okay. So we're gonna go with that. And you could just use like a paint bucket fill, but sometimes that can lead to it's just the whole thing and not everything needs to be this peach color. So we'll just continue to go around and fill that in. And like I said, as I'm still learning how to do this, I know you can play music while you're doing it. Don't know how to do that yet, but I also know you can't just play whatever you want. So I'd have to find like one of those little uh, YouTube free playlists or whatever that just kind of plays the music in the background. But yeah, once you just kind of fill everything in, we're just going to do like base colors. And then you can go in and add all your detail and stuff later. But you can see how the selection doesn't allow me to paint outside of all this. Now, if I wanted to, if I didn't want to leave like that selection stuff up, I can come in here and click this mask button. And what that'll do is you want to make sure you pick back off the mask here, but it's the same difference. I can't paint outside of that selected area. So if you don't want all those dots bothering you, that's an option for you. So I always want to zoom in. So as you can see, there's spots that aren't picking up and getting filled in. But we'll just continue to go around. And we'll just paint everything in. So yeah, I wanted to do these live streams so I could get to know you guys better as well too. So if you just had any questions you wanted to ask, they don't have to be art related or nothing. You just wanted to chat because you're, I don't know, you're bored at work or wherever you are. You just wanted to sit down and watch. That's cool. Or if you're drawing too and it's just something you want to listen to, you want to talk about what you're drawing as well, that works for me. But I am just going through and making sure that I have everything filled in. Okay, that looks pretty solid. As you can see, like even coming over here, like see how it blocks it off? I can't really mess that up too much. So, but yeah, these live streams will kind of double as a video as well too, because I know some of the YouTubers that I watch that go live sometimes, it ends up saving too, so you can always go back later and watch it. But I might be working on a couple things. I'm just gonna focus on this one right now. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream for. I'm gonna try to shoot for an hour, maybe longer. Just depends on how much interaction we get with this video. I know me, as the person watching, um, they stopped by for a couple minutes, but um, just get a feel for who's going to show up and who's going to stay and hang around. That'll kind of determine as well how far I take these live streams. And if you come in this later because you were at work or whatever, uh, just let me know suggestions for you know time frames that you guys want to do this stuff on. Let's see. I think I like that skin tone. We can go ahead and pick up the other color. So this is something I've already drawn, and I'm just gonna use the same colors from it. And we'll just kind of fill that in. And again, it's nice having the mask on there because I don't have to worry about going outside the line at all. And I can just fill it in. Excuse me. So I can just go around and work in the spots that I want. So this would kind of be like the, you go to a YouTube channel and you see their little banner page. That's what this image is going to be. And then I was going to have like, as it's doing the report on history and stuff, and the mysteries and the lore of different things. I just going to kind of have it be kind of animated. Um, Whereas like when he's talking and stuff, it'll just kind of, you know, make it seem like he's emoting and not just be a flat image. Yeah, I was just going around and filling this green. Like I said, anybody who's watching this is a drawing chat, so if you wanted to chat, you can. But once you get all these base colors in, like I said, that's when you can go in and add in all the details that you want. Hey there, Pixel Press. Oh, appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, actually, I'm still working on it. And I do have actually some of it pulled up. Like this is just a scene like with Rena, and there's all kinds of like alien races and stuff. Yeah, and what it's about. Yeah, I can give you kind of a synopsis of it. But this is what everything would kind of like look like. I got all the word bubbles and stuff set up on here. Uh, what I'm still kind of deciding on though is the style, because like right now it's kind of looking like a, for lack of a better word, like a Saturday morning cartoon type artwork. But I'm trying to decide, like, I'll zoom in on it right here, where if I want to go in and do this, that inking look, where like if you look at the other ones, it's just more like a cartoon. Um, I'm trying to decide if I want to go back and add that extra detail in there. But generally, it's basically it's called Chronicles of Andromeda, and basically, um, it takes place in the Andromeda galaxy, and I mean, the people don't know that. It's just to kind of give the reader an idea where it takes place, but it's on a planet called Oromir, um, and there are many different races and stuff. So it's kind of like a high fantasy meets steampunk and stuff like that. But there's this empire called Alfmerians. They're kind of like elves, but in space, kind of thing. So I didn't want it to like literally be a translation of that. But they're really oppressive over the human species, um, because there's a mystery kind of to the humans. They just kind of arrived on the shores after some major event, and they started to expand and didn't really know about the other races and stuff, which led to all kinds of wars and disagreements. But yet they were very adept at technology and stuff, but they don't know about their past. They don't know where they came from. all the other stuff. So that's the big mystery is behind the humans and what they're from. There was a major war back in the day because the humans had discovered some technology on the planet and tried to expand farther than they should have. And so these other races came together to kind of squash them back down and eventually restricted them of technology. So they're back in like steam era type. Their technology is not better than airships, trains, and stuff like that. But there's a rebellion. So I would say to really sum it up, kind of think of like Star Wars meets Final Fantasy type thing. I mean, obviously there's an empire of some kind, a lot of political and high fantasy stuff that'll go in there, and it's just really hard for me to explain without giving it away too much of the story. So I hope that kind of helps. But yeah, that's that's pretty much the premise. But the reason why I can tell you this, and the reason why it's called the Chronicles of Andromeda is it's kind of twofold. It's obviously takes place in the Andromeda Galaxy, but there is a the main character Rena eventually will run into a sky pirate who has a ship called Andromeda, and with this being a series that expands multiple generations. Like we're gonna see like even past Rena's timeline and stuff, but the ship will always be there. Like somebody will end up with the ship, some new person, maybe a relative that's extended. Like I said, I don't want to like give that away, but um, that's the other reason is it's the history and story of the ship and who it's been with and stuff like that. There's these. Oh, here's another cool aspect of it too. Is there's these judges. Um, Kind of like like on Judge Dredd, they kind of deal out the law for the Empire, and they are. I'm trying to see. I'm not sure if I have anything because it was eating up a lot of space on my computer, so I'm not sure if I still have it saved on here of the judges. But I think I might have one that has like Judge Talos in it. Um, let's see. Yeah, so I can open this one up. So, and this will kind of give you too like a little idea of how truly find. Personally, I find the inking method much more appealing. Try gives it a comic feel, but the story is very interesting. Man, I really enjoy the mystery behind that. Somehow, yeah, I appreciate that, and that's what I was going for too. I started thinking like the inking would be cool, but like so, like this guy right here is like the president. Yeah. But like this is like the president of the human, empire that or kingdom that does exist. But like this is the Alphamirians here have like no love for humans whatsoever. Like it is so bad that if you do not speak Alphamirian to the Alphamirians, it's a punishable crime. Like they're considered so lowly that it's not even cool. And like this guy that's standing behind the president is the only human to be granted the title of a judge, and he basically enforces all the law for the Alphamirians. And as you can see, I've actually created languages for each of the races and stuff, and I'm gonna do this really cool thing at the back of the book. Like the way they talk, the person will respond in English that you'll understand what was said. But in the back of the graphic novel, you can actually, if you want to, go back and translate and learn how to read and write in those languages. So But like, yeah, that's Judge Talos. He's kind of still not permitted since he's human to have advanced technology, so he kind of has more of a steampunk type look and aesthetic to him. But the judges are no joke. They are not to be messed with. And it's like I said, it's just real interesting. I can't wait till I'm done so I can kind of share the premise with you guys and see how everyone might like it. So, how have you been, Pixel Pretzel? What you've been working on? I know you've been trying to get some art done. But yeah, if you have anything else you want to chat about, that's what this is. It doesn't have to be about art necessarily. Like any movies you're looking forward to. Like I'm a huge Marvel fan. I know I'm looking forward to Ant Man. Yeah, well, that's good to hear you come a long way. I'm very, very interested in seeing the stuff that you put out that you're working on. I'd love to see it. So if you ever get like that stuff kicked off, like you start a channel, or you have an Instagram page. Yeah, I know. That's a that's why I said at the start of this chat. I always kind of tend to show my age a little bit. I tried to go live 3 different times this morning, and I messed up big time. I couldn't figure out how to bring myself into the thing so nobody could hear me. So I'm figuring it out. So it does not surprise me. There's a delay of some kind in the chat. Excuse me. But yeah, like I said, if there's anything else you want to talk about, I know, like I said, I'm huge into comic books, so like I'm excited for the Ant Man movie coming out. I really hope that opens up the floodgates with Kang here soon. But yeah, essentially all I'm doing right now is, like I said, I'm just trying to lay in all the flat colors on here first, and then that'll allow me to go in and add more detail on there. The other reason the chat might be delayed is my internet's not always the greatest, so it might take a minute. Okay, fine, unless it's a little late. Oh, sweet! You got a commission? That's awesome. Well, hopefully it lets you let you share that when it's all done. Just so, like I said, I'd be really curious to see some of the stuff you've been working on. Like especially if you have like an Instagram or something that you put your artwork on, or like ArtStation. I'd love to see a link to that stuff. I always said, and that's not was my favorite thing is when I was an art teacher for a little bit, was I got most of my joy from seeing the kids create their artwork, especially when you gave them some creative freedom to kind of, you just kind of give them a basic outline. Like I could say, hey, we're doing surrealism, but you can literally draw whatever you want, and just to see how much craziness they could come up with was just really awesome. But just out of curiosity, I mean, you guys, you think it would be a good idea to continue to do these live streams? Most of my current work is just practice. I only have like 5 finished places, including our Spider-Man. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Hey, it's just like kind of building a portfolio. Definitely want to kind of make sure it's all set up and good for something to highlight first before you just put it out there. So, but yeah, just whenever you do, I'd love to see it. But yeah, so I do miss like some aspects of teaching, but just turned out to not really be for me. Um, and I wanted to give YouTube a try so that I could continue to teach. I think a lot of people like maybe mistake my intentions for like trying to get money off of YouTube, and I'm really not interested in that. I mean, it's like one of those things where like, hey, if it does happen, great, but what I really like doing is just having people to come to a place, um, where they can learn how to draw instead of having to, pay to go to school. You can at least get some basic, info from me, and then grow from there and not really have to, because like there's a lot of artists like and there's tons that I follow. I follow like, Jazza, um, who's some of the other ones? Like Nerd Forge and all that other stuff, Ross Draws, just because I love seeing what they create. But I just hated that everything was just kind of hidden behind a paywall. And don't get me wrong, they're in different situation. Everybody's gonna make their money, but I always hated, having to because everything was time lapse. Like they'd be explaining, like, here's perspective, and it was a time lapse video. And you're like, okay, well, why did you use that brush? Or why did you use that pencil? What is the reasoning behind that? Where I like the long form, step by step tutorials because I think that really shows you an artist's process and why they're doing the things that they do. And I'm just not sure that a lot of people care for the long form videos. So I don't want that to discourage people from wanting to be on the channel to learn just because they don't have the time to do an hour-long video or whatever. But I don't know. I don't really get too much, feedback either. Whether I ask, "Hey, do you want to continue to do the long form, or do you want me to shorten it up?" Um, Prime example is like Wednesday. I didn't really have a choice. I was just practicing some like inking and coloring with that Wolverine art by Joe Mad, and it was taking a lot longer. And I kind of figured nobody's gonna want to sit there and watch a 3-hour video. To answer your question about streaming specifically, I think you should stream really popular characters. Personally, David Finch has a pretty popular. Yeah, it's true. I've seen some of David's stuff. Um, and you know what? I might actually start. Yeah, that's true. Figuring out your content and seeing what succeeds. I unfortunately, I can already tell that the ones that do better are the shorter videos, and it kind of breaks my heart a little bit because I feel like I'm, doing the exact thing that I didn't like was not seeing the full step by step process. So I'm gonna try to find a way to balance it out. Um, because uh, like I said, I still think some people like the long and short form. So I don't know if I should like continue to like maybe do a like maybe release a time lapse version of it as well with an explanation, but I don't know. I'll figure it out. Um, but yeah, with the popular characters thing, I actually will probably start doing that just because today is just kind of like a test run, you know. Um, I just was really struggling this morning figuring out how to do this live stream stuff. I really thought it was just a simple task of clicking a button, but I had to get into a live chat with somebody else to figure out how to do it. So they managed to help me out. So I think next time I'll definitely probably do some popular characters. Um, and then also need to figure out too, because I mean, who's watching and how many people are watching. Like, figure out what time of day is going to be the best to do it as well. because I know there's people in all parts of the country. Because there's a lot of people I watch on YouTube. Sometimes they start live streaming, and it's you know almost midnight my time, and so that's kind of a struggle for me to be able to watch it. So I'll try to put a little community post out and do a poll, see who can tell me what time's best for them. Uh, but yeah, I just love the creation part of just being creative with art. And like I said, and just like it says in the title, it's a live chat and draw. So like I said, you guys can ask me anything. And I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna give you my social security number or nothing, but you guys can ask me anything. It doesn't have to be art related. Let's see, Pixel. I noticed that for a long content, man, a lot of like super creative and original artworks do the best. Got a great imagination and come up with some crazy drawings. Yeah, I appreciate that. That means a lot. I probably could start doing that. I could probably try to balance it out. I also need to kind of, that's probably a good idea. I'll probably make another poll too to kind of see how people feel about the what I've got on the channel. Like, because I mean, the view average wise, it's all about the same. I mean, it's not really much of a difference on it. But like seeing like, does anybody really like, Tiny Tuesdays? Could I just get rid of that and spend more time on something else? Or maybe get rid of the Tiny Tuesdays and do more live streams instead. Like I'm probably just gonna put out a poll for that and get a feel from everyone. Because don't get me wrong, I am 100% grateful for the 300 what I like to call students that I have. Um, I just wish more would comment and just kind of let me know what's going on. I mean, some of them probably honestly forget they're subscribed to me. Let's see. I created a piece by combining a pirate girl with Zatanna's power, and my wife loved it, and she hates art. That's funny. Uh, that's gonna be cool to see though, because like if I remember correctly, Zatanna's a DC character. She's like a magician type person, so that'd be really cool to actually see her in a pirate form. That'd be excuse me. That would be cool to see. So uh, yeah, I always want to. I was thinking about doing like some mashups. I know I did some a while ago, but because I was trying to keep everything down to what's the word I'm trying to think, the time so that it wasn't too crazy. Um, I wasn't really focused on the quality, which I should have been. Trying to decide what would be a good color for the continents. I don't want to just go because it's not, if we zoom out, it's not like super detailed. I don't need to like go in and add mountains and stuff. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do like a brown with it. Try the brown first. We'll see how it looks. Like I said, it's not like super important to the image. So there's a little art tip for the day when you're doing stuff like like for instance with the comic book, like how much detail do you need in your backgrounds? It's all going to be dependent on the person because that's obviously going to take the time, and that's what's taken longer for me on this graphic novel is just the sheer amount of time of doing, a team job by myself. So it's not moving as fast as I would like it to, but what can you do? Okay. Yeah, so, but yeah, just once I get all these flat colors in here, I can start going in and working on the shadows and stuff. Oh yeah, you'd love to help. That's no problem. Like I said, I told you before when we did our little collab video. You just gotta let me know, man, because like sometimes my brain just is blank, and I just kind of get lost as to what it is I was doing anyway. So yeah, just help stay in touch with me, and I'd have no problem with that. Uh, I can't tell if I just want to leave that brown or actually attempt to add some greens in there. I guess we could test it and see. So I know not all of Africa is green, but maybe if we put some greens in there. I don't know. We'll have to see when we zoom out. Greens and grays. Yeah, probably like for the mountain regions. I should probably add in some gray there too. So I'm being kind of stubborn right now. And instead of just, looking up a map of the globe, just seeing where those greens and grays go, trying to do it all out of my head, which is probably not the smartest idea. Let's just kind of see what that looks like from a distance. That's not bad. I'm probably need to darken the greens a little. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's a little better. So go in and get some gray. These mountains, probably go for a darker. So I know I got what the time I spent in Afghanistan. There's a lot of mountains over here. And there's a mountain range in here somewhere. Maybe I go for that sand color for the desert, like the Sahara. Might be a little bit too gold. Let's go down to orange a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little better. So now we got desert in here in China. Maybe I can put a little bit more gray. This northern region. No, Pixel, I will not. I am being stubborn. I am not doing it. I'll learn the hard way. Uh, tell you what I'll do. I'll finish it out first to get the stubbornness out of me. Um, probably should be more north here. And then I'll look up a reference and see where we're at. So just to pique my curiosity, let's just put a very tiny sliver in here. Let's just see what it looks like. Like garbage. Let's see. Uh, let's pull up a reference here. Let's see. We're gonna put globe into Google. See what we come up with. We'll make it easy on ourselves. Let's just do Earth. Okay, so I got some images of the eastern side of the continent, or the western side. I need the eastern side. Uh, there we go. This one might work. Let's see. Let's save. I just need to save it to my desktop real quick so I can pull it in. All right, Pixel, you take care. Appreciate you stopping by. All right, so let's see if we just bring in the image. I can just go to place embedded. I can go to desktop. And let's find the Earth here. So what I could do instead, use a little Photoshop magic here. You can bring that in. And let's see, let's pull in. Let's turn off the color real quick. And we expand that out. Gotta make it the appropriate size. Just like that. And then what I can do is just simply erase around the picture. And just keep the Earth right there. So if I stay close for now, I can just increase my brush size and just go around it. Okay, so I want to be careful. I don't want to get too close. Get rid of everything. Then what we can do is we can add in a couple filters to kind of try to get it to match. And then the next thing I need to do is come in here and erase that out. And I can just use what I have. Okay, so let's come out. That looks pretty good. Let's see, we could add some filters to this. Let's try add a little bit of a Gaussian blur. So let's drop that down. Just want a tad because that'll help filter out those pixels a little bit. We're going to image adjustments. Let's go hue saturation. And we can change the color of it a little bit to make it stand out some more. And then what I can do is I can pick that, add a new layer, do it as a overlay, and we can fill it in with some ridiculous color. I want to have kind of glass hue over it. But I'm definitely gonna have to go in and clean that up. And hey, Jazz, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by the stream. Since you kind of coming in a little later than usual, I'll just let you know what I'm doing. I'm just doing a draw chat, so I'm good, man. How are yourself? Yeah, I mean, you can literally talk to me about whatever you want. It doesn't have to be art. It can just be anything. I just wanted to give this a test run just to, see if it was working. You missed it earlier. I went live like 1,000 times and couldn't figure out why my microphone wasn't working. So I kind of showed my old age there a little bit. Um, but yeah, I'm just drawing this image here for um, for fun, trying to build everything up in it. So how have you been? Just chilling in YouTube, some animation. Hey, there you go. Love animations. I really wish I could make more videos on it, but they are just so time consuming. Um, Especially when you're doing it by yourself. So I mean, I feel you. What kind of animations do you work on? 'Cause I like tackling the more traditional ones, but at the same time, I watched a recent one from Felix Calgrave, mind blowing. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that one out. Yeah, I definitely have to check that out. I love animations, and my hats off to the YouTubers that sit down and have the time to do it because it's just an awesome quality product when you're done. There we go. So I asked somebody else, Pixel Pretzel was in here earlier. Would you like to see me do more live streams? I probably won't draw like this necessarily. I'll probably do more fun stuff like drawing, characters that people know and stuff. But I was just giving it a test run today. But yeah, I'm gonna do probably a community poll just to get a little feel what everybody wants to see, and then just get you guys to kind of vote from there. So what I'm doing now, since this is an hourglass, we're gonna try to give it the look of glass. By trying this method, we're gonna kind of do like a screen or an overlay. We're just gonna test that out and see how that goes. But yeah, like I said, I mean, this is a, a chat and draw. So I mean, you guys can literally ask me anything that you want. It does not have to be art related. You want to talk about movies, video games. It's all fair game to me. I'm into all kinds of stuff. So it's just a chance to hang out and get to know each other better, find out what you guys want from this channel, anything that you want. Especially if I can figure out what time is best for everyone. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna do normal. And I'm gonna try to see if we can maybe use an airbrush a little better. Let's see. It's like I tell everybody all the time in my videos, there are airbrushes for days for free that you can find. So if you're ever wondering how, you know, certain artists and stuff make those brushes, a lot of times you can just get them for free and not have to worry about it. Okay, so this airbrush is working a little bit better. Still need to probably take that off of there. Let's see. And then I could probably take out that on the side. Okay. So we need to figure out it's going to look better. I just got to leave it normal and mess with the opacity. Do it more like that. I come in here to the color. I'm going to try to find a sand color to use. I think that is good. Switch back to my regular brush. And for anybody who may be watching later, you'll come to find that, yeah, it's probably easier if I just use some hotkeys, but I don't know. I just got so used to clicking on things that I still just go into the menus. Let's see. I think right now doesn't look too bad. Might have to go try and adjust this. Maybe a little darker. No, it's just kind of see if we go brighter with it. There we go. We'll go brighter with it. And give us more of our sand color. Yeah, we get our little greens in there. Like I said before, I'm not worried about the highlights too much right now. Because I'm going to go in and add all those details later. Let me turn off this layer real quick. Kind of match that color. We can kind of blend that in to make it look like it's flowing out in the sand. But yeah. Again, for those of you who are joining the live stream, this is a draw-in chat. So ask me anything, go right on ahead. And it doesn't have to be art related. It can be whatever. Like I said, this gives me a chance to get to know y'all a little bit better. I think probably be better bet if I just did all of it that color. Turn that off, get that color back. And there we go. It's a little bit better. I need to come in here and get these fingernails colored. Now, for fingernails, you can leave them the same color as the skin if you want. But I like to come in here and give it more of a darker tint to kind of show that blood flow going in there. So probably have to draw in the lines to get the white tips of the fingers in there. But we can keep this pink for now and then just go in and add the white in a minute. Let's see, go lines. Let's try to keep the line thickness the same. And let me just put that in that way and come back with the white and the color line. It's like I say in all my videos too, art does not have to be perfect. Like even if this image doesn't turn out the greatest, I'm still gonna finish it. That's usually your best bet is to at least finish it and then take it and learn from it. What did I mess up on? What would look better? I know I was guilty of when I was younger of just kind of throwing a project away and never coming back to it. And that in turn can lead to you not really learning from your mistakes, which will then in turn cause you to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of going in and giving it more of a kind of like a comic book type detail with some inking. Um, again, this the way that I'm doing it is probably not the best way to do it. It's because it's a decision I've made later after already drawing it. So kind of have to stick with my choice on that point. Yeah, JS, you learning like crazy anywhere from videos or books. Look, man, that is, and that's like I mentioned in that video I did on Monday. That is the best way to do it. Is don't just pull. I'm not trying to sit here and say that I am the greatest artist on the planet, but I will tell you from experience is art books are your friends, like the video game art books where they show you how they created it. You can see their process. Other YouTubers too. Just really go to multiple sources to really kind of find your style. Like I said, I am not the be all end all. Get all your information from me, but I do like to show the live step by step to just kind of give you an idea of how long an artistic process can take. Because I know some people, one of the things that people tend to ask a lot is, how do I get faster? That just comes with time. Like it's just how much did you practice anatomy? Uh, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And that's the thing you should focus on. So like when you're doing something like this, like I said, it may not turn out to be great when I'm done, but I'll be able to look at it and go, okay, where did I mess up? Where do I need to improve? And then from there, I can learn and grow. So I am with you on that, JS. I gotta constantly teach myself new stuff all the time, and that's really should be the goal. Is never be satisfied. Always move forward and pick up new tricks and tips that you can from anywhere and anyone. I'm sorry about that. But a little piece of advice, though, if you want to know, um, you want to learn like some industry advice and things like that from, people who have been doing it much, much longer than me and probably have some more world experience for you. Mark Burnett and Trent Kuniga. They're some of my favorite YouTubers. I still watch. Uh, I don't know if you ever heard of Jaw with Jazza. I still watch him because he still makes entertaining content. But some of his old stuff, he's got a lot of cool tips and tricks and things. So yeah, definitely keep shopping around, man, and looking for ways to get better. I gotta figure out how I wanna, because you can kind of over ink these shadows, and I don't want to go too crazy with it. Ah, yeah, some of the video game art books I found are cool, but not translated. Most some are Japanese, Chinese. Yeah, that's true. But I will say you can still at least kind of think of it like how, like Michelangelo and Leonardo, all those famous artists had to do. They had to kind of look at old people's artwork and kind of break it down and study it themselves. So I would look at those books as an opportunity to learn, you know, how to dissect and analyze somebody else's artwork because I have a few of those myself too, especially a lot of my Square Enix art books. 'Cause I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy and love the artwork that's in there. Oh yes, the illustrations are definitely worth it if you don't understand the content. I'm telling you, man, most of my art books are mainly for uh, an inspiration driver, if you will, like to get me going. Oh man, I just saw a flood of artwork that just looks completely awesome, and my brain is now going 100 miles per hour of like what I want to do. So I agree with you. The illustrations are definitely worth it, even if they're not translated. So that's cool. I'm glad to know that you get art books and other resources. And like I said, with most of my content, my goal is to. I think I was talking to Pixel Pretzel earlier. My goal is not to monetize here on YouTube and get money. And my job, I used to be an art teacher after I got out of the military, and I love teaching. So it's just to help teach. So the 300, as I like to call them, students that I have that have subscribed to the channel, I am super grateful for and really want to know from y'all what it is you would like to learn or have me learn or have me make a video to help you learn on. And like I said, I am not the be all end all for information, but I promise you I will research and apply and study it myself and then give you my findings on it as well. So if you have suggestions for things, by all means, leave me comments and stuff because I am more than willing to give you guys the content that you want because that's what I'm here for is for the viewer. I'm not here to make a buck. It's just more of a chance to get my teaching itches out, if you will, just so that I can share knowledge. That's actually my favorite part to do. So far, inking looks pretty decent. Like I said, I'm not going for overall wow factor with this image. It's just a kind of like a brand market. Yeah, I probably don't want to do that. Let's come up and let's just thicken the line right here. So what kind of art style are you into? Do you like doing the stylized kind of stuff like what I'm doing here? Or do you like realism? Um, or do you like concept design for games? Because me personally, I like all forms of art. Um, especially like my first thing. I don't know if you ever go back and look at some of my older videos. They're called like Wicked Wednesdays, where I would do like creepy artwork. I kind of like that macabre, scary stuff. Um, but I definitely lean more favorable towards comic book art. Like my favorite two artists of all time are that's Humberto Ramos. Oh, thanks for the knowledge and teaching. Oh, you're welcome, JS. I love it. That's what I said. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to do anything other than teach. I'm not concerned about the payments. But like I said, and I'm glad that you're learning too, because it's and if I can find a way to figure out to do stuff, I'd love to set up something to where we could, all share artwork back and forth. I know somebody had mentioned, Discord to me before, but I'm still trying to. I barely figured out live streaming this morning, so how to how to start that up and get that going, I have no idea. But yeah, like I was saying, my favorite comic book artist so is Humberto Ramos and Joe Mad or Joe Madureira. That's what I inked and colored that image on Wednesday from him. Has just their stylization and mixture of kind of like anime meets Western comic book art has always been great. That's why I love his artwork, especially Joe Mad's work. I don't know if you've ever played the video game Darksiders, but like his artwork on that is just amazing. Um, And then, of course, Humberto Ramos' art is awesome, but he's probably my favorite Spider-Man artist of all time because he just really captures that. Um, because Spider-Man's so lanky and agile and stuff, he just really knows how to capture all of that and really make it feel like it's alive and full of motion. So, yeah, let's see if we can get this inking done. And like I said, I don't know. I'll probably live stream for another 30 minutes or so. But if you guys want me to do this more often, what my plans are is to do more, fun ones of like drawing, characters that already exist, or maybe just some crazy idea that I've come up with, like Pixel had suggested earlier. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna put up some community poll stuff here today, just to get a feel for what everybody wants to see, and like maybe a time period that's best for everybody. Uh, I mean, obviously, I have a family and stuff, so sometimes I'm just not gonna be able to do some time periods because I gotta get kids from school and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm gonna try to work with what majority of people want to see on here. And like I said, if you're just joining in, this is a draw and chat. So if you do want to ask me questions, and again, it doesn't have to be art related, you can just ask. Other than that, I'm just going to continue to you know, randomly talk and explain my process here. So what I'm doing with this is I'm trying to get more of like an inked look to it. So I got all my color flats down, and then I'm going to go in and add more of the airbrushed shadow details and things like that. Just really trying to make sure I plan this without going too overboard on the inking because I don't want to take away too much from the image. So I'm just kind of testing it out as I go. Because that's actually one skill that I am trying to get better at. And I can show y'all if you want to that graphic novel I'm working on. Um, I'm trying to go in now because it was actually looking more like a cartoon, and I'm trying to go back and do actual like comic book inking, so it wasn't all just cell shaded. It had more detail to it. So I am really just kind of practicing it right now, so I can go back and add that detail in there without ruining the picture, which is why programs like Photoshop are helpful because you can use a layer system. Okay, so I probably need to back that off just a little bit. And something else I need to figure out with this too is, like I said, the music part. I know you can play music while you're doing this stuff, but I know you can't play like somebody's music. It's got to be like a kind of like a YouTube's approved type deal. So I'm gonna try to figure that out too, so that we can have a little music in the background while I'm going, in case I run out of things to say on those periods that I'm just sitting here by myself. But like I said, I just appreciate whoever's stopping by. It's whatever. It's not that big of a deal because then it kind of doubles as a video later. that if people want to check it out later, they can. Try to put a few of these lines in here. Give it a little bit of a texture look. And see how that kind of helps raise the lapel off the back there. And same thing down here. It's almost like adding a dark ground shadow to it. Okay, so I want to kind of hit up. Got those edges there. Maybe a couple lines in here. Let's see what that looks like. Back off. It's always good to back off your image. Let's see what you got. It's starting to stand out a little bit. Kind of getting kind of like a little bit of a Dr. Dr. Seuss kind of vibe off of my inkings going on right now. So I guess it's not terrible. Again, it's more like a test image. So let's see what that looks like once we back out with these lines. Yeah, looks good, but I mean that's it's definitely giving me that like I said, that kind of Dr. Seuss vibe a little bit, but we want to keep it consistent, so I might as well go through the rest of it and add it in there. Just kind of get smaller as I go down. Let's see. Definitely want to get some on the overlap of the beard here. Just get that lower portion right down there. Let's see. And we can start working on the edge of the hands here. Add that in. Let's take that out. And stay as close as I can without overtaking the image. Get that kind of round off right there. So I want it to kind of blend into the fade out there. So we can get this overlap of the thumb. Just kind of have that round off. Maybe thicken it up just a little bit more. I also have to think about, because I want the hourglass to kind of glow. So what I might do is I might have to add the rest on the backside here. Just because I want the lighting to somewhat match. If you've watched my channel for any number of time or amount of time, you know that I'm not gonna always stick with 100% true to life lighting. Sometimes I just kind of go with what what looks cool. Um, so yeah, I could probably thin this part back out. Keep that down. There. Now we have the switch back. So it's on the back side of it. And go in here and kind of finish out what we have on the tip. And then for this part, since again I want that to glow, so I'm kind of thinking about where to put that in right there. Piece that in. Let's make sure that's not too thick and too dark. Um, Part of the problem is that connection right there. Let's break that. That way I got some separation to it. Okay. And then I'm going to want to do the hourglass itself. So we'll probably shrink that brush down a little bit. Come in here to the bottom. And since that glow is going to be kind of coming from the hourglass, I'm just going to keep that thickness down towards the edge. Like that. And some of these spots where we have a little bit of a dip in, I want that transition of shadow. Like that. And then I can continue to have a thicker outer edge just to kind of help bring out the form a little bit more. Right. And what that'll do is that'll kind of help sell the glow, the light source from where it's coming from. Then I want to kind of do the same on the transition here. Just be real careful along the bottom. Like I said, it's not a close up of the hourglass, so it's not necessary for me to have super detail in there. But we definitely want to make sure it at least has the look that we're going for. Right. Put that on the edges here. And as we work our way back in, we want to thicken up this portion here. And maybe a little bit on this inside. Again, just try to be careful putting that in. Run that off the edge. Like that. And we'll do one more right here. Here. And then I can just thicken up the top line like that. So now that piece is kind of matching as a whole. And then I can go in and start doing the other details that are in there. So I'm gonna see how much I can get done for now. In the next 5 minutes I can stay for. So about Yeah, probably another 5 minutes I can stay on here. Um, but what I'm doing now is I'm clicking on the old mask, and what I can do is take that up to this new layer and hit the mask button, and it'll just recreate that same shape so I don't go outside the line. And then I can just rename this shadow. And then what I can do is I can keep that on the black and go to my brushes and go back to an airbrush and knock that down 50. And again, I can come in here, and since the airbrush goes on softer, come in here and just kind of lightly blend it towards the front. And then the parts that I don't want the shadows on, since it's on a separate layer, I can just simply come back and erase those out. So again, down here, I might need to decrease the brush size on that one. Let's kind of come out that way. Use the beard to help. Just follow along that bottom path. And then what I can do is kind of cut it back some. So like on these areas that I don't want any shadow on, I can kind of break that down. Like that. And then just continue to kind of move throughout the image. Let's see. That's the underside of the nose. So I'm going to want a little shadow there. And then I'm going to want it to come in from this side. And we can kind of use that to help us build up the shape of our face here. And then I can kind of cut back. I just leave that up in the eye area now that I'm looking at it. We'll add a little bit of shadow right down in this region. Definitely want to get under the chin. And see, by adding that mask, I'm not able to go outside the lines on here. So it makes it a little bit easier not to mess up with where you're putting things. Okay, I want to knock back some of this. Right in there. And then just kind of work in the airbrushed shadow. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's all choice. I mean, it's your artwork. You don't have to use the methods that I show. Maybe you can use what I've shown and then find a easier or cooler method yourself and adjust and make it better. Come up with a better idea. It's kind of the whole point, like I said, of this channel. It's just for you to learn a little something and then go out there and come up with your own style and methods of doing things. Now, when I was designing this character, it just something looked familiar about him, and I'm trying to think of where I accidentally probably pulled inspiration from on this one because it definitely reminds me of somebody I've seen before, and sometimes that happens in your artwork. You don't realize you're kind of recreating something somebody's already done. But I'm gonna finish up this last piece right here, and then we are gonna call it a day for the live stream. I know nobody's in right now. Some people left, and I do appreciate those. So it reminds me of Mike Magnola. Magnola. Huh. Why does that name sound familiar? Mike Nola. Oh yeah, it does kind of look like his. Actually, I got love to the Hellboy art. Why wouldn't I know that? See, now I just feel like no, that's definitely what it looks like. I love the Hellboy art, and I don't know why I blanked on knowing who that was. Now I feel like I just lost my comic card of knowledge. I can't claim anymore. Cannot believe that slipped my mind. Thank you, JS, for pointing that out. Cannot believe I didn't realize who that was at first. All right, so I'm just going to put in this last bit of shadow here. Again, for those that did stop by for the live stream, I appreciate it. Um, again, just be on the lookout for some community posts as I will be wanting everyone's feedback on whether to do more of these. If I need to make changes to, um, take away from stuff. Yeah, I said I felt real bad not knowing the Hellboy thing. But yeah, just be on the lookout for that. I appreciate it if you guys would vote on that because, like I said, you all drive my content. Okay, it's all for you. So if you want more or less of something, just vote yes or no when I put it up there. Other than that, I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember to keep on sketching. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye.